We are backstage with Motionless and White, and I'm letting you know we're recording this interview before the song releases, but by the time you watch this, Slaughterhouse will have come out. I'm sure you're enjoying it, and we're gonna get the inside scoop on how exactly this song got released. So Chris, off the bat, Slaughterhouse was not planned, right?
It certainly was not. We released the track listing, and once I think fans saw the features and just, we did early on put up a question, was like, what do you think the heaviest song is going to be based on the title? I think, with a title like Slaughterhouse, it could go either way. We do have a song called Soft that is the hardest, heaviest song on that album. So I think Slaughterhouse kind of alludes to a little bit of a bruiser. So fans right away were just like, Slaughterhouse, gotta hear Slaughterhouse, gotta hear Slaughterhouse. And we originally were only going to put out 3 tracks, and it was just Masterpiece came out, and then it was just like, okay, cool, like, how about Slaughterhouse now? Like, it seemed like that was all that anyone cared about, and we were just like, sure, let's do it. So fans completely influenced our rollout schedule, which is cool because we live in a time where that could happen like that easy, and we're excited.
So Ryan, you play a lot of songs on your stream. Usually when I swing by, I actually make you play Soft. That's the standard. When it comes to Slaughterhouse, is it going to be one that I'm going to be sitting there begging you to play?
100%. It is straight up. Am I allowed to curse? Yeah. It is an ass beater. It'll be one of those ones you're sitting at your computer just typing away in chat, and you're gonna either not have a keyboard after the fact or a room. It's gonna be destroyed.
And we don't have Justin with us, but I know he does a lot of heavy vocals when you guys are live, right? Mm-hmm. So is Justin going to be doing that when it comes to this song?
Oh my God, this song has so much like overlapping, just craziness. And then when you throw the feature into it, I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth between he and I, which he probably doesn't know yet. And I'm going to severely ruin his day because he has to play all the riffs and scream at the same time. I just get to stand there and sing and scream. So sorry, not sorry. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay, so Ricky, is Chris saying he has the easy job, right? Because you have vocals and playing too.
Oh yeah. Yep. He's got it easy.
I want to roll back actually a little bit to Timebomb, because that one, when I listened to it, I was a fool and listened to him when he said you were the only one that sang most of the time. And Ricky, obviously you feature really heavily in that. Yes. And I'm really curious, was that because overlapping vocals and live performance? Was it creatively you liked the harmony? Where'd that decision come from?
That's a question for you. I don't know. He asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said, yeah, of course I do.
I think I'd rather you just make up an answer and let's see where you could go with it. Let's see what the best you got is.
Well, here's the thing. I heard the song, and I thought, man, I really have a good vocal melody for this part, and it just snowballed.
I thought you were going with I heard the song and my voice is sick, so I was like, I'm gonna sing on it, and I'm sorry.
Nope.
This is my decision. I'm going with it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're talking a little bit about band roles right now. I gotta roll back to Vinny over here. I heard when you first played with them, it didn't go so well. How did you convince them to keep you around?
Good question. Damn.
Wow.
The internet knows how trash I am, huh? Is that what's going on? Yeah, no, actually, it was only the rehearsals that I did real bad, and they were justifiably scared.
Full-blown panic.
Justifiably scared, but yeah, I didn't think I was bad when we first played, so, actually played, so, yeah, saved myself. I think that's the only reason I'm here, to save myself. And they feel bad, maybe.
In retrospect, when you think about hiring a person to come out to LA as your first time to rehearse with the band, on your way to Australia as your first tour with the band, I can't really judge much at all.
If anyone's looking for context, Vinny did a great podcast where he really dives into this story. We get to hear about Mitch. It's a whole thing. It's good. It's a good listen. But I'm going to pull us back present day to this album. And creatively, I know that you guys pulled a lot from video games, which if you're watching this, I think you can understand why I'm interested in that. And I'm really curious, when you go into a video game soundtrack, right, you have the playfulness of Legend of Zelda and your Link in the Woods. You've got Doom with super intensity. When you went into sort of score research in these games, what was the mood that you were looking to evoke?
I think it's all song by song. I mean, when you have a song like Masterpiece, if we put any type of scoring in it, which it's a little more subtle in that track than it is in others. It's just about kind of feeding another layer of emotion that you can't get just from us five. And that's what I love about those scores, is that they are so, like, I don't know if the term would be symbiotic with the visuals, that it all becomes one experience. And we try to do that with our music videos to music to our live show. And I appreciate that about it so much. And that's what type of band we want to be. So listening to all the scores that I did across a very wide range was just kind of, it's just naturally inspiring to be like, this is what we want to do. We need to add that layer to give another piece of depth to what is Motionless.
Cyberhex is an amazing example of this. The AI voice, right?
Yes.
What is it? I'm thinking GLaDOS. I'm thinking Cortana.
Cortana,
right?
for sure. Yes. We're very big Halo guys. Yeah. When that song came about, I was like, I need to have this like entity that feels like it is, or even for me, Red Queen from Resident Evil. I loved in the film when I didn't want to have like a child voice, but something that felt humanoid. And I have a friend from Australia that she does voice acting, and I was like, hey, would you do this? And it was like first shot, nailed it, fits so good. And I'm so happy we are at a place where we can do that, and it's not like some big, what are they trying to do? It felt like a natural progression for the band. So.
Well, and I noticed a lot of fans when they listen to the new stuff say, wow, we get a lot of the old vibes from it because of the production and because of those elements.
Yes.
And Ricky, this is where I'm dialing in on you. I really want to know, Chris is talking about this whole world that he's building in these songs, video games being the full immersive package. You have a huge creative hand in these music videos. So at what point were you handed Cyberhex and said, hey, come up with something?
Oh man,
the latest possible point.
Yeah, it really was like
way past deadline.
Yeah, it was like we got 3 weeks to figure this out. How do we do this? No, we're actually really fortunate because our tour manager Logan, he does a bunch of 3D rendering stuff on his own, and it just kind of worked out that was something that we were interested in trying, and he was able to pull off what he pulled off with it, and I think that it was a great compliment to the song, and it really does just feel like a video, like you're inside of some crazy video game world, which is so cool, and I'm so glad to have been a part of it and been able to pull it off in the time that we did, because there were times where I had to talk him off the ledge, he had to talk me off the ledge, and it was stressful, but I'm
Ricky Olsen, guitarist, vocalist, therapist.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, if you're wondering why we're setting up the interview this way, we got our creative, our music writers on this side, and then we have the super nerds on this side. Okay, these are two gamers. These are two with Twitch channels. If Cyberhex were going to be a trailer for a video game, right? So there's an esports tournament. There was a new legend dropped in Apex. There was a new expansion for Horizon. What game's the dream that company comes to you and says, give us Cyberhex?
Ooh, the dream. Oh, man. I mean, you pretty much just said it. Like, Apex would be pretty good for that song. Call of Duty, wherever that may go in the future. Pretty much any first-person shooter. Obviously, Halo would be like a dream come true for all of us. That's just a legendary game that we all grew up on playing. And, to even have a song in it would just, like, that's the little kid inside just freaking out.
Vinny, do you guys play Halo together?
We do.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
Okay, if you played Halo together, who's the red shirt that's drawing enemy fire, and who's actually carrying things?
I carry.
Carries.
Would you care to comment?
I'd say it's pretty balanced. We're pretty good at video games together.
So when you guys tour, do you all play together, or do they hide in a corner and they're antisocial?
I don't know. Should we answer this for them?
Go for it. Yeah, you're gonna give me the truth. I can't trust.
Yeah. Wow. We have gotten to the point where like they're so good comparatively to us that we've played games where we'll be in a four-person multiplayer, and they'll just mess around. They'll try to 360 no scope the entire match until someone is almost gonna win. And then Vinny, out of nowhere, will just win the game, like at the very last second, because he can just come back that quick. And then Justin, who's not here, we love and hate playing with him because he's the most competitive dude in the bus. Mm-hmm. So like he is just full force, trying to kill everyone as quick and as efficiently as possible. And still, I love at the last second, Vinny will just come out of nowhere and just destroy. So it's very frustrating and also very entertaining.
So Justin is not someone to play Settlers of Catan with.
He is not someone to play any video games with.
Poor guy. He can't defend himself. That's okay.
That's why we're going to go real hard on him.
Yeah. They're all going to be at DreamHack. They're going to be there all 3 days. Tons of video games the whole time. I don't want to get into that yet because a week after DreamHack, you're dropping this album, right? We talked about Slaughterhouse. We talked about Cyberhex. A little bit of a touch on Masterpiece. And I want to talk emotionally because I watched another interview you did, and you mentioned your 4 previous albums gave you a lot of data of what fans liked.
Yes.
And that built Disguise. And I want to know, Masterpiece is obviously emotional. Cyberhex is immersive. Mm-hmm. Emotionally, what is this album?
I think the title really does present that in a way where like you're kind of with the understanding of what it is, and then also like there's a mystery to it. I keep saying it's like the destruction and Armageddon of both the world outside and the world within. Mm-hmm. So the songs are essentially split 50-50, where it's like super internal emotions and feelings and expressions of what I've been going through in the last couple of years, and then or what in some cases what we've been going through. And then a lot are just observational about the things that are in the world that I just want to put my flag in the ground and be like, this is what Motionless stands for. Slaughterhouse is a big one for that. It's very just like, it's going to be a polarizing lyrical track, but it is that way because it needs to be. Like when 2 years have gone by or 3 years have gone by where you haven't had a chance to like in your art express what you stand for, it's time to really be loud about that. So it's meant to have both sides of sadness and anger and everywhere in between, and I love that that's what our albums have always done. Mm-hmm. But this one is pretty far on both spectrum, like between both spectrums.
Yeah. Now, catharsis obviously expressed
what
your albums have been for people before very nicely. I want to talk about this 3 years of divider between the before times and what we live in now. Yeah, wait, Ryan, can I have a radio voice on the before times?
Just the before times.
Thank you. That was necessary. And I'm going to ask each of you, do you have a moment where you managed to connect with a fan in those 2 years of nothing that you remember or that stood out to you? I'm going to tell a little story while you think, while everybody thinks. So you all ignore me and think. This is for the people watching. Gotcha. Okay. Something that was super cool for me was I didn't know that music reaction videos were so fun. So I decided to try one. And never having met the guy, he messages me from one of my favorite bands on Instagram to thank me for doing a reaction video, which is one of the coolest things I think a band could ever do.
Yeah.
So that was really sweet. So that was a reverse interaction for me. That was super neat. Now your time's up. You need a story. I embarrassed myself. It's your turn.
I don't think that there's any one specific thing that I can think of. It's just been, I think, more of a general outpour of fans being like, I really appreciate what your guys' music has done for me during this time. I mean, it's been a crazy 2 years for everybody. So to have fans be able to reach out and say, hey, this really impacted my life and this really helped me. I mean, that in itself is just, you you can't compare that to anything.
We'll go to the streamers. Chris, you get last go on this one.
Boy.
We'll go to the streamers. You guys obviously get to sort of directly connect in a different way. Ryan, what was it like switching to streaming as your musical connection in addition to gaming connection with your fan base?
I think it's great. It's more personal, because you constantly have the chat going off and enjoying the music that unfortunately they weren't able to go see live. And, they're talking to me directly rather than, trying to scream over the barricade or whatever may be the case. It's a whole nother environment and just, more personable type of vibe rather than being at a show. And you could just talk, just hang out and vibe, and the community that him and I have built with our fans and gamers alike. I think it's just very similar to what we do here. And honestly, it's one of the best things that I enjoy outside of playing live music.
Yeah, Ryan basically said it. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, our communities that we built over the last 2-3 years have been insane, and for me, life-changing. As far as being supported by the fans and stuff. But just being able to talk to them face to face and like you're just hanging out, I don't know, they're just watching you just, for me, play drums. But I at least get to between songs talk to people and actually hear what they I guess our band means to them and stuff like that. And that's something that I normally wouldn't get unless I'm just walking out into the crowd, but which I'm never doing. But yeah, it's been amazing. I think I can speak for both of us. Yeah.
We had an artist at a DreamHack one time just run into the crowd while singing. Just run, and I've never seen security so panicked before.
Man.
There's just a phalanx of 8 dudes that grabbed him and were holding on as he ran through this crowd.
Hold! That's
yeah,
funny.
that was probably one of my favorite moments, just because watching the panic on their face was great.
Do you want to go? This year we could schedule where you and I just go for it. Right into the
right into the crowd.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we could do it during cosplay. It might be a little safer.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no mosh pits during cosplay.
I will protect you.
So we're coming back to you for connecting with the fans, and I'm going to pick your moment for you.
Okay.
Deadstream.
Oh yeah! Wow, I didn't even think about that. I do want to add something that as an observer of their Twitch, their stuff is I don't know if people really realize how kind of shy and introverted a lot of us are. And what's so cool about those guys is watching their streams. They come alive in a way that I feel like we rarely get to see. When we do, it's like another side of a friend that you do know exists, but you don't see it frequently. I see Ryan do stuff on his Twitch. I'm just like, who is this? And I love that because it speaks to what they're saying with their community, helping create a vibe that makes them feel like they could just wide open, take the veil off and be themselves. I think that's ultimately what I think really Twitch means to people, and something that's why we kind of all want to be a part of it. But now that I'll stop answering as a viewer and answer your question, the Deadstreams were a similar thing because we listened to the fans and what they wanted. We tried to do that as much as possible. We knew we had an opportunity to do something to celebrate with fans on something that they were really excited about. So we did our 10 years of our first album, Creatures, Deadstream, and then that went so well that we're like, let's do it again, but we have to do something, that is either a once-in-a-lifetime event or something that you would never be able to go to see at a show, or likely not go to see as a real-life show. So that created this kind of creative flow between fans and us of let's do this, let's go bigger, let's do that, let's create this whole world of something that we can all be a part of across the world together, similar to what they do, but in a performance-based thing. And it just speaks to how creative people got throughout the downtime and how we all found ways to still stay connected and communicative with each other. I love that.
And we're obviously super excited at DreamHack to bring you all out, not just for a show, but for 3 full days straight.
Yes.
To do a million different things. This is great. I feel like I have minions that I can just send forth to do things. But I am curious. I know Ryan knew about DreamHack ahead of time because I asked for an interview and I got a message back, Ryan wants to do it, he loves DreamHack. And I was like, okay, all right. Was it like a vicious pen of vipers in the group chat or like what happened in that conversation?
Between us?
Well, no, before, yeah, between the band when that request came in.
I don't think we spoke about it with anybody else. I mean, and I know he's a big fan of DreamHack, but I don't think we even talked about it. I think I got the email and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. That's it.
It actually got sent to me, and I was just like, this has Ryan all over it. And he was like, sign me up, call my agent.
Yeah. All right. That's good to know. Okay. So those two know what DreamHack is. We're going to start with them and we'll work our way down from whatever information you have on the show. I want to know what it is that you're looking forward to seeing or doing or interfacing with because it's going to be different. All right. What's the thing that you really want to do at DreamHack, or what's the dream? What's the dream? Yeah. I'm giving away the microphone now.
I just want to watch esports, even though I suck at Counter-Strike. I'm very looking forward to that. Yeah.
I'm right there with him. I want to see some competitive stuff going on, and I want to see the cosplay. I want to see some bands, I just want to see everything. I've always wanted to just see what goes on at these types of conventions and just soak it in.
That's fair. Well, fortunately for you, we have IEM, which is like one of the biggest CSGO tournaments there is. So I think you're going to be set there. Yeah. All right, non-CS. What you can say CSGO. That's fine. I just feel like you're not going to.
I think I'm just so excited. Like I feel like I've always been into gaming and kind of recently exposed to the esports world. I mean, Ryan and I watched like the Fortnite championships a couple years back when we were on tour together, and I thought that was fascinating. So like it's a world that I really like, but I don't know how to be a part of. So like I'm just looking forward to being introduced to something that I'm like on the cusp of maybe like be turning over into.
Mm-hmm. I did hear whispers of that.
Yes, I'm just I over the pandemic, I definitely explored the world of gaming and all of what they're into way more, and it is something that I'm maybe a little too introverted to be like fully immersed in, but at least I got to take the influence of it and bring it into our music. So being in the world and in the realm of it for like in its purest form is going to be pretty rad.
So full disclosure, I have zero idea of anything that goes on. I don't know what to expect. I purposely haven't looked up anything just because I want to be surprised by it. So I guess in that regard, I'm just excited to be there and experience everything that it has to offer and just put myself in there and be immersed in all of it.
Fair. I'm going to ask one more question before I let these guys go because they got a million things to do today. I already asked the dream video game for Cyberhex to be a trailer for, but if you were to work on a video game, if you were to be a voice actor, write the score, I don't know, be a dedicated influencer and streamer or something along the lines, whatever it is that you get locked into for that game, which game franchise, big one, would you want it to be, and only one of you gets to say Halo?
I call Halo. That's fun. I want to be the I just want to replace the dude strictly who just says Slayer. Yard sale.
I love Tarkov right now, but I want to say Call of Duty just because it's the longest game that I've played throughout its whole franchise.
I don't think our band would make sense with either of these games, but I'm just going to choose them because they're my favorite. Rust or World of Warcraft, or just anything in the Warcraft universe.
Warcraft could be cool.
Warcraft could totally work. There's all kinds of epic dragon things, and yeah.
There's like a fake metal band in Warcraft.
Wait, I'm getting sidetracked. Have you ever heard the I Am Murloc?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
So this would never work as a crossover by any means. No matter which way you put it or how you package it, it would never work. But I would say Zelda, something in the Zelda world. I love Zelda.
Okay, Bowser's kind of in the Zelda world, right? right? Like if you do like a Mario world, right? Like you can have Bowser and Zelda.
Nintendo
Yeah.
world,
You could kind of, I think that could be metally. You could
Maybe.
have like a Bowser guest appearance in a Zelda game, and he's got like a metal theme song to it.
I mean, we could write the theme for Ganondorf if he comes back again, and that
Exactly.
would be cool.
There you go. That would work too. Okay, well, I think I've peppered them with enough random questions. Do we have any last shout outs we want to make? Like maybe your Twitch channels or something about the album or any of those things? Now's the time.
One by one.
Twitch.tv/SkiesLive with a Z.
Skies Live.
Twitch.tv/Sachetti. SACHETTI. That's hard to remember, but I'm sorry.
Nicely done. Just Google his name and Twitch. It works. I tried.
I think I want to shout out and acknowledge one last piece of this album puzzle. For those of you that are unaware, we have a song, the title track, that features the Mick Gordon on it. So that is a song I'm very excited for people to hear, and furthermore, get to work with him way more on future records. So just say that again.
Yeah, that. I mean, you can't get much better than Mick Gordon. So
Yeah.
So that again, thanks everyone for watching. We hope to see you at DreamHack, that you enjoy Slaughterhouse, that you spam Masterpiece and Cyberhex and enjoy Scoring the End of the World. We'll see you live at the show in Dallas. Thanks everybody.
Thank you.